Shanti. Welcome to Avyakt Journey, Avyakt Parivar Chitchat, exploring together the depths of Baba's wisdom. I'd like to invite our dear angel brother, Brother Eric. Welcome.
Om Shanti, each and everyone, whole Avyakti Parivar. And yes, our dear Mohini Didi, nice to be back again after a whole week at work. It feels like this is my extended holidays and extended weekends when I can be 3 nights in a row with Avyakti Parivar. And the thought that came to mind was, how special is the time between 18th of January and tomorrow, the 21st? And in a way, you let me know, Mohini Didi, if you agree, but this is like Easter for BKs, right? It's the same as when Jesus left the body and along with Christ's soul, and then 3 days later, boom, I'm back. And then Jesus Christ became visible in his form of light. I was going to say on the 21st, it was maybe another date, but it was 3 days later. So very nice to meet you, Mohini Didi, and wondering if you can share maybe some thoughts, unless you already did and I missed it, but if you could share on this special time. If you remember it from 18th to 21st, do you remember what was going on in your mind, or not knowing, of course, Baba will come in Daddy Guzan's body? How were you at the time between 18th and 21st? What was your chart?
I want to share first that when yesterday, 18th, we were just having chat here with some of the family, that when there is a pure love, then separation will not cause sorrow. Like for me, I have until now that very fresh experience that around 12:45 or so, when they knocked my door and I opened, and they say, "Oh, Brahma Baba left body." Now, actually, for us young ones, Baba was everything, like parents and support. And so 1 second you could feel like, oh, how can it be? But as soon as I heard, I just went in very deep silence. Not even emotion of what's going to happen or anything. But next to my bedroom was Baba's room. I just went in Baba's room. Actually, we never had Baba's room, but it was like classroom or whatever. I went and sat there, and then after a few minutes, I started making calls to inform people. I was informed and I was told, you inform others too. So we all start calling people, and because we need to leave tomorrow morning for Abu. The train was around 8:39. So if people knew, then they can get ready to go. And you will be surprised when we came to train station, whole platform, train was full of white swans, all the BKs all over. And then we all reached. And so when I reached there, then it was morning. So Dadi Prakashmani was sitting or standing outside. And Dadi Prakashmani opened her arms, her kind of welcomed all of us. And naturally, it was like we want to comfort her. And but she thought she has to comfort us. But anyway, we met, and then we start having the meeting. What is next? What we have to do? So everyone had the thought that cremation should happen within the boundary of Pandavavan. So, but I know there are certain rules and regulations, right? How far from the residence you can cremate a body and all that. But we were very determined. So Jagdish Bhai, myself, two, three of us, because Mount Abu is not the capital. There was a capital city, which is about 3 hours. So we thought we go there and get permit. So we left in the morning, and I think it took us 1 or 2 days because nobody knew what to say, yes or no. So anyway, we didn't get answer. We just came back. And so that is where I spent 19th and 20th. And as you all know that we don't cook food until body is cremated. And there were two reasons that we had to keep the body. One reason was permit, but other was also they were some of Baba's very Pakka children, those who took 3 days to reach there. So we didn't want it to disappoint them. So we decided to do it on 21st. So my time was really very actively spent on going, making all the arrangements and everything. But most interesting thing is that these days we have funeral homes, right? But in history hall, we had to get very, very big size ice slabs to keep the body. And it's so interesting that Baba's body, face especially, remained same, very cheerful and as if he's still living. So anyways, some of the Kanyas were asked to decorate their body with sandalwood paste on the face. And of course, brothers, they did bathe the body and change the dress. And so when we finished that, and then the body was taken all around Abu. So then came 21st. Now, the first bhog which was offered, which generally is offered, is sweet rice with saffron. And of course, after 2.5 days, they were giving us tea, something dry, but not like proper food. So they keep cooking because everyone was so hungry. But when bhog was offered in the afternoon, just one moment, like somehow that everyone was very much in control over their emotions and tears. And Dadi Deva Shanta, Baba's daughter, was so strong. But when Dadi Gulzar started sharing the message, 1 second, like all of us start choking or had emotion outburst. And Nima Shanta Dadi got up from the floor, sat on the gadi. You cannot do this. Baba won't like it. And it's so interesting that he was her father and she was so strong. But it was just a minute it happened, and then everyone kind of settled down. And as you all know, what beautifully Baba described, what will happen. Tomorrow I'm going to read part of it. So that after that, still the ceremony was on. Funeral happened right there, where the Tower of Peace is. That used to be playground. Baba and us used to play. But that's where the funeral is. And then they keep ashes for a few days. But when we decided Tower of Peace, one of the reasons we used the word tower, because we saw Baba in extreme situations, but completely unshakable. And, Baba will, if you go in Baba's room, it's a big situation outside. On this round pillow, he's sitting. And when we go, feels like Sri Krishna is sitting. Then we saw deep silence. Deep silence. And that silence was like power for us. So whatever we had to do, we were able to do. All the answers were coming from that power. I still remember deep silence in his room and so much turmoil outside. But so we thought that Tower of Peace, Tower of Silence, and all happiness, all four are written there. So that is how it happened that Daddy keeps saying, now you all have to stay a little longer here. And he said, okay, we take turns. We didn't want to leave her alone. Even some seniors were there, but still, we all took turns and went and spent 10 days. Then we come back, then we spend time. So this is how 21st came. Yeah.
How many of you would be there at that time? Do you remember? I mean, would it be 100 or less than 100, more or few hundreds or
For cremation, we were 700.
700?
Huh? 700 or 2000 something. No, I think it's 700. Everyone couldn't reach, but those who could reach. So we were 700.
So you're saying about silence, and we know, of course, Baba gave many beautiful messages from 18 to 21st. Were you having special experiences yourself because were you wondering if you would still meet him up there, or if he left the body, did he leave also such a region? Is it a package or something will happen? Or were you trying to connect with Babdara in the Sata region during that time?
I think, one thing is that the Gulzar was there. So we knew that our trust messenger is here. So all the messages, directions will come. As
But
I
you
said,
were getting special experiences.
I was more busy on management side in the sense of Jagdish Bhai, myself, and there was one other brother. So we were, until end of funeral, I was kind of very busy. And I think it was good too because, you don't want to, there were people who were sitting and then, of course, getting emotional and all that. But Baba kept us busy. But after that, definitely when food was being offered, I was sitting in front. But we didn't know much about angelic stage and Avyakt and all that. So, but as if, I don't know, we didn't feel he is leaving us.
Mm-hmm.
We always felt he will be with us. That kind of feeling was there, but not lowing in angelic form or in subtle region.
Although we heard, I mean, even not too long ago in the Sakar Murlis, we heard Baba saying that when he becomes complete, he will become an angel, which is incredible that this would have been spoken through Brahma about himself, that he will become an angel. I don't know if Brahma asked for some more detail after Murli to Shiv Baba. What do you mean exactly I'm going to become an angel? Now we know, but at the time it wasn't known. Were you there when you were there? So what was your memory of the first time Baba came into Dadi Gulzar's body? Were you surprised, or you felt it, or how did it work?
But it was actually first Bhog message because Bhog was being offered. So it was Bhog message, but in between, Baba just came and gave drishti, but Baba didn't speak. That's what I remember. I'm trying to read to write again and see. But it was Bhog message. What has to be done? Murli will be revised. And there will be one trust messenger. Baba will come in one chariot. Everything. And Dadi Prakashwari will be the head. And Didi will help. All these directions came on 21st. And that was Bhog message actually.
But I thought it was the first Murli that took place when Baba really spoke through Dadi Gulzar. Was it not after the 21st, or?
Anyway, I'm planning to look
to
at
read
it
again.
tomorrow morning. I can share more about it.
All right. Someone had a very interesting question. I couldn't ask it, but it's nice we ask you now. And one soul is asking, so was there really an actual soul in subtle Brahma? So in the Sakar days, was there really an actual soul in subtle Brahma, or was it just a subtle form without a soul? And also, what actually happened to subtle Brahma after Brahma Baba became Avyakt?
Yeah, it's a question which is very common for new ones. It's So I think that it's a kind of disputed point, but I still remain with one which I heard and I want to stay with that. That there is Shiv Baba in incorporeal world, right? And in the tree, original tree, then there are three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar. When I came, their role was very active, Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar. And then is Brahma, Saraswati. Then all the deity souls, around and 108. And so when their part finishes, like first I think Shankar's part finished, Vishnu's part finished, then Brahma Baba's. So there is one thing, is they went to Paramdam. So their part is over, so they went. But some souls say, how can they go to Paramdam? Shiv Baba said, first, I will go, then others can go. But I still believe that their part was over. That was their part in subtle regions to give visions and whatever way. Baba used to say, this is my staff. Shiv Baba used to say, subtle region is my office and I have three staff, Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar. So something about study, establishment is Brahma Baba. Something about sustenance is Vishnu. Something about tapasya and destroying all the vices is Shankar in tapasvi form. And then later on, when they became like their part was over, then the whole concept of that Brahma plays the part of Vishnu and Shankar. And each one of us play the part of creating, also obstacle destroy and sustaining. So then that concept was there. And then after that, Brahma Baba also became Avyakt. And we all have to be Avyakt. That's what was left. This is what I still hold on to be. Even people have different interpretations.
So what do you mean exactly when you say when you came, Shankar and Vishnu were very active and then their part finished? What were they doing? Or did you see them being busy or Shankar and Vishnu?
When Baba had to grant vision of aim and object, you will see Vishnu. Mm-hmm. When Baba had to show how to burn your sins and be bodiless, and there was Shankar. And of course, Brahma's part was always there. So that means I saw them in subtle region and had visions. Not only me, a lot of people will have vision at that time. Because Brahma Baba said, they cannot have my vision because I am not pure. So that is why it's important to have a vision of one who is completely pure, is Avyakt Brahma at that time. We didn't say Avyakt, we always said Sukshma, subtle Brahma, Sukshma Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar. So it was basically Shiv Baba for his task had to give the visions and he was using them.
You believe that Shankar was actually a manifestation of a soul in the subtle region, Vishnu as well. And Brahma's manifestation as a soul, was it the same soul as Brahma Baba in the body? Or?
No, it's also separate soul.
All right.
All three. they used to call Sukshma Devta, subtle deities, they were called that.
And where, so when did they go? They had early retirement at what time, or they left?
I think when Brahma Baba was ready for giving the vision, we didn't need it there, right? So their part was over, short.
That's interesting. I think I missed the chapter.
I think that for all of you, it will be really like, but I didn't experience, I can say it. But when I say it, I know some to figure out exactly would be difficult.
I think we're easy yogis. We are very easy yogis. So we adjust very well to different ideas these days. I always feel, I've learned, I hope it's okay, but I've learned not to hold on sometimes to my own I'm open. Baba can tell me new things anytime. Like he said in the beginning, they believed, Baba was a thumb shape image, then got update. I feel it's like my phone. It gets regular updates, and I'm always happy to see what's the new thing in my phone. So I feel I'm being updated now by you. Thank you for the update. Very nice. A very practical question. So someone asked, Baba likes us very much to have a chart of remembrance. And that's what wants to know, was Brahma Baba keeping a chart of remembrance? And what was it like? Is there any notes of his chart of remembrance? Do you have any traces of his chart? Was he writing down his chart?
No, we haven't heard about writing the chart, but definitely he was keeping chart, not writing, because there was a lot of attention on remembrance, lot of attention, and you could see it, it's cheerful but very introverted, and you could also see his smile sometimes like company of Baba, and Baba is, it's like you could see the presence of Shiv Baba also a lot around him at that place because of his remembrance, right? Baba is coming, so remembrance, his remembrance, then Baba comes, and then we all remember Shiv Baba, and we want to meet through Brahma Baba. That helped him a lot too.
He was keeping a journal or so? Was he writing his own?
That was
thoughts?
before coming to Gyana.
Before.
They found a diary in which he was about to decide what to do. So a lot of it has, that one you all must have heard. But I haven't heard any diary after Shiv Baba came in Brahma Baba. Ocean of knowledge was with him. So he didn't need
Why
it.
would he need any journal, right? A last little question before we meet again tomorrow. Someone is saying, nowadays, I become completely devoid of thoughts while sitting with Baba, absolutely blank and still. Is it soul conscious stage? Am I on the right track? Please advise.
No, even if you are blank, but there are feelings are there of lot of love, feeling full. Feelings are there, thoughts are not there. So that's a good deep silence, or staying with Baba. So just check if feelings are still there.
And if there's no feelings, then take your pulse and see if you're still in the body.
Pulse of the soul.
I'm bodiless. I have left the body. Yes, sorry. Okay, Mohini Didi, thank you so much. Lovely to go in that field between 18th and 21st. I'm looking forward to listen to you tomorrow. It will be very interesting, and we'll meet again tomorrow night. So thank you so much, and have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.